Remember all that talk about TikTok maybe getting banned?
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of freaking out. Like, where would everyone go?
For sure.
Well, it turns out a lot of people have moved over to this platform called Rednote.
Uh-huh.
And it's been really interesting to see how everyone's adapting to it.
Yeah, it's wild. I know. I think it says a lot about,
Yeah.
The cultural differences and how we approach social media, don't you think?
Yeah, totally. Like, it's not just about finding another TikTok. It's like a whole other world online.
Totally different digital landscape.
So for someone coming from that super fast-paced world of TikTok, where it's all trends and, what would you say is like the biggest culture shock they're going to find on Rednote?
Okay, so first of all, imagine like a mashup of Instagram and Pinterest.
Okay.
But with like a very distinct Chinese cultural flavor.
Okay.
So think like beautiful travel photography.
Okay.
Food that looks way too good to eat. And all those like clever life hacks that everyone loves.
Touch it.
It's all about quality over quantity on Rednote.
Yeah.
They really value like visually appealing content.
Right.
And those engaging stories,
So instead of like quick dances and stuff,
Yeah.
it's more like 5 ways to organize your closet.
Exactly.
Or like a beautifully shot travel blog.
You got it.
Huh.
It's a lot of tutorials.
Yeah.
Personal anecdotes.
Right.
Genuine product recommendations.
I feel like there's got to be a catch, though.
Oh, there is.
I've heard that Rednote has like
It does.
some pretty unique rules.
It does.
Especially when it comes to like sensitive topics.
But yeah, you have to tread carefully.
Yeah, like it's like navigating a minefield.
Yeah.
Things that you could talk about on other platforms you can't really bring up on Rednote.
So no heated debates about like...
Pretty much anything too controversial.
Yeah.
You want to stay away from strong political ideologies.
Oh.
Religion can be kind of tricky too.
Right. And definitely don't go criticizing the government too harshly.
Gotcha.
They really prioritize maintaining like a harmonious online environment.
So it's not just about avoiding sensitive topics. It's about understanding like the cultural context of what's considered sensitive on Rednote.
Exactly.
Okay, so if I'm a content creator,
right,
how is my approach on Rednote going to be different than, say, on TikTok?
Okay, so on TikTok, you could go viral overnight with like a catchy dance or a funny skit.
Right.
Rednote is a lot different.
Okay.
It's way more about building a loyal following through consistent, high-quality content.
So less about chasing trends.
Yeah.
More about, like, building your brand around a niche.
Yeah, think of it as a slower, more deliberate experience. It's about savoring the content.
Gotcha.
Engaging in meaningful discussions and building genuine connections.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really sounds like Rednote is all about, like, authenticity and building those connections.
Yeah. It is. It's like a global village almost.
Okay.
Where curiosity and respect are key.
Gotcha.
You're not just like broadcasting into the void.
Right.
You're engaging with actual people from all different backgrounds.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And, forget about those generic comments.
Yeah.
Like, nice post or whatever.
Yeah.
Try asking like insightful questions or sharing your own experiences to like get those conversations going.
So instead of just liking someone's picture of their dumplings, I should ask for the recipe.
Yeah, or tell them about the time you tried to make dumplings and
Right.
totally failed or something,
So it really rewards that kind of engagement.
It does. The algorithm loves it.
Okay, so let's talk about the algorithm.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of the elephant in the room.
It is.
How does it actually work? Because I'm used to TikTok's For You page, which is like magic or something.
Yeah, Rednote's is a little bit more nuanced. It doesn't just look at likes and views. It also considers stuff like the quality of your interactions, how often you post.
Yeah?
And how well your content lines up with like what the established users are into.
So spamming the platform with like low effort stuff is not going to fly?
No, not at all. Remember, quality over quantity.
Right.
And also be really careful about those sensitive topics we were talking about.
Yeah.
Moderation is strict, especially if you're new.
So I might want to be like a little subtle with how I phrase things.
Yeah, good strategy.
Okay.
It's all about understanding those cultural nuances.
Right.
And engaging in a way that's respectful but still makes people think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like for someone coming from TikTok, the biggest difference has got to be like the format of the content.
Yeah.
Rednote seems way more image and text focused.
It is. You can find some short videos.
Okay.
But it's mostly about high quality images and really engaging captions.
So it's kind of like Instagram and Pinterest.
Yeah, but with like way more emphasis on personal storytelling and interacting with the community.
So instead of like a 15-second dance video,
Yeah.
I'm posting pics from my vacation.
Exactly.
With like long captions about it.
Yeah, and don't forget hashtags.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, using the right hashtags can really help people find your content.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the cultural differences between RedNote and other platforms.
Yeah.
How can someone coming from a different culture make sure they're
That's important.
being respectful and sensitive to all that?
It really starts with curiosity and humility.
Okay.
Remember, you're entering a space that has its own norms and values.
Yeah.
So take some time to learn about Chinese culture and etiquette.
Okay.
Pay attention to how other people interact.
Gotcha.
It's like traveling to a new country, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to accidentally offend someone because you don't know the local customs.
Exactly.
So a little research and observation can go a long way.
Right.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Most people on RedNote are super happy to share their culture and help newcomers understand the platform.
So with all this talk about culture and sensitivity, is there a language barrier?
That's a great question.
Like, is English even a thing on RedNote?
Mandarin is definitely the dominant language.
Okay.
But English content is growing, for sure.
Okay.
You'll find plenty of users who are bilingual or are learning English.
It's like a built-in language exchange.
It is, and it creates some really cool opportunities for learning and collaborating across cultures.
Yeah.
You could like partner with a Mandarin speaker to make content for a bigger audience.
Right.
Or get feedback on your Chinese from native speakers.
That's so cool. It's like a cultural exchange program.
Exactly. And that brings us to something really important.
Huh?
This isn't just about like understanding the rules and the algorithm on RedNote.
Right.
It's about embracing a whole different way of thinking about how we interact online. So like, what would you say is the biggest difference between the TikTok mindset and the RedNote way?
Well, TikTok is all about speed and going viral.
Uh-huh.
You're always trying to get people's attention jump on trends, get as many views as possible.
Right.
RedNote is way more about slowing down, cultivating real connections.
Okay.
And creating content that has like lasting value.
It's like the difference between fast food and a home-cooked meal.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
On RedNote, you're not just consuming content, you're savoring it.
Right.
You're engaging with it. You're becoming part of a community.
Okay, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Building a loyal following on RedNote. For someone coming from TikTok, where it's all about instant viral fame.
Yeah.
How do they even start to do that on RedNote?
It takes time and effort. There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
But there are a few things you can do to set yourself up for success.
Okay.
First, focus on making high-quality content, stuff that really aligns with your passions and interests. Don't try to be everything to everyone.
Gotcha.
Find your niche and become like an expert in that area.
So instead of chasing every trending hashtag, I should focus on building my brand around something I'm actually passionate about.
Exactly. That passion is going to show in your content, and it's going to attract the right people.
Okay, what else?
Engagement is huge.
Yeah.
Don't just post and disappear.
Okay.
Respond to comments, ask questions, participate in those discussions.
Right.
Show people you're not just there to broadcast, you're there to connect.
So treat it more like a dinner party than a stage.
I love that.
Right.
Be a good guest, be a good conversationalist.
Yeah.
And finally, be patient.
Great.
Building a loyal following takes time.
Right.
Especially on a platform like RedNote, where quality is more important than quantity.
Right.
Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away.
Okay.
Just keep making great content.
Yeah.
Engage with your audience and nurture those relationships.
So it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. And I know this might sound a little overwhelming, but RedNote is seriously a rewarding platform to be on.
Okay.
The community is so welcoming, the conversations are thoughtful, and the content is genuinely inspiring.
It sounds like kind of a breath of fresh air.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially in the world of social media, which can be so chaotic.
For sure. So for anyone thinking about making that jump from TikTok to RedNote, what's like the one piece of advice you'd give them?
Go in with an open mind and a willingness to learn.
Okay.
Embrace the cultural differences, engage with the community, and be patient.
Okay.
You might be surprised by what you find.
And who knows, maybe you'll fall in love with a whole new way of connecting online.
Maybe.
That's it for this deep dive into the world of RedNote.
Thanks for having me.
A huge thank you to our expert for showing us around.
Of course.
And to you, our listener, we hope this has given you a taste of what RedNote has to offer.
Yeah.
If you've already checked out RedNote, we want to hear from you. What surprised you the most?
Yeah.
What challenges have you faced?
Tell us.
Share your experiences, and we might even feature them in our next deep dive.
That would be great.
Until then, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep diving deep.